This is a short story I've been working on. It's called How Do Porcupines Make Love? Hey Jane, I say to my best keeper Larry, how you doing? She's in the shade of a big tree outside, curled around a stalk of bamboo, trying to get a leaf into her mouth. It bobs and weaves out of her grasp, each snap of her jaw waving it away from her. She rolls her eyes at me, a motion that causes her whole head to shake and her skin to ripple the fur all along her shoulders. Shafts of bamboo slide down her chest and come to rest on her stomach. That doesn't even make sense. She clamps down on the soft leaf and gently chews it off the vine. I try to keep my cool. Her thighs are thick and muscular beneath all that hair. She's spread wide, a pile of bamboo refuse, the only thing hiding her. Her stomach heaves, the fur parts and ruffles. It's funny, I say. Is it? I nuzzle under her bum to try and flip her over. When she doesn't budge, I realize I'm being too pushy. I try to flirt by flopping over her side and catching one of the bamboo leaves in my mouth. She nips my muzzle to chastise me. I'm eating here. Hey, if you're hungry, I got something that might fill you up, I say, humping my hips against her side. She pauses to give me a withering stare, the naked stalk of bamboo splintered and waiting. What is your problem? This isn't going how I thought it would. I lean back onto my haunches and haul myself into a nice reclining position so she can get a good look at what she has to work with. Ew, put that thing away. No one asked for that. She dribbles partly chewed chaff out of her mouth in disgust as she begins the laborious process of standing up. Okay, I need to readjust my game. The problem is that I spend most of the year avoiding Jane. She's mean and likes to tell me how much smarter she is than me. Nothing ever makes her happy. She spends way too much time with the keepers. So on a day like today, I'm starting from scratch. And it's hard to stay on my A game when she smells so distractingly fertile. Every pore of her is emanating yeast and sweat and sex. I've been finding patches of the scent everywhere in the habitat. It's driving me completely wild. I'm just messing with you, I say, and lurch forward to catch her by her rump. She slashes me with her claws and wriggles out from under me, leaving me lying politely on my stomach like a golden retriever. Bamboo splinters worm their way through the knots in my fur. What is your major malfunction, Way? I stand in the dog pose. I stay in the dog pose in case she finds it cute or entertaining, and I give her the big eyes. I'm irresistibly adorable. Just ask those kids who spend all day pointing and cooing at me. You're just really, putting something out there. So I thought, you thought what? She rifles through the big pile of bamboo, making all the leaves quake. Your whole funny shtick isn't going to get you very far. I can't help myself. I stand up and expose myself again. My funny shtick gets plenty far. She drops the bamboo entirely and heaves the weight of her skin across her back, shaking a cloud of dust and scent into the air. You're all talk, sweetie. Come back to me when you have something to show for it. My funny shtick is showing and you're the one who's not interested, I call after her. That one really did make no sense. Like I said, it's hard to keep on your A game. I just need to wait. If I know anything, it's this. Bitches in heat. And that means that I shouldn't have been wasting my time on talking. Unfortunately, waiting is torture. The scent is in practically every corner of the damn habitat, and I can't do anything but bark and howl at her. I take a drink, and I realize she's peed in the brook. The smell is on my face and my mouth. I'm going insane. So I'm a little frustrated, to say the least, when she finally sidles up beside me, sweet as frozen apple slices. Hey, Way, she coos. How's it going? I bristle and ignore her. Sorry about earlier, she says. You know how estrus is. Do I ask, moving her tone. Her eyes narrow. I'm trying to apologize. Yeah, well, your sweet shtick only gets you so far. Her face drops. You think I want to be like this, trying to make it work with you? Do you have any idea the shit I'm dealing with? Do you have any idea what this feels like? Yeah, I do, because you spent the last week bitching about it, and the last year, I raised my voice over her attempt to interrupt. Bitching about not having a baby. I realize immediately I should not have said this. Her eyes grow soft and sad. It's tragic. So obviously I double down. Stop acting like last year was something I did to you. You didn't even have to. Her ears perk up. Didn't have to what, she challenges. Never mind, I say. The last thing I need is Jane laughing at the mental image of me sedated, anal probe buzzing me to completion. Look, do you really think it's a good idea for us to have a cub? You don't even like me. Well, it's kind of slim pickings around here, so I'll take what I can get. This is not reassuring. So the conversation seems over as she gets distracted by some birds that have landed in the corner. I plod off to a sunny spot, plop down on my behind, and lick my balls until they are warm and damp and smell like a rainstorm.